So a couple videos ago, we started a painting. I was just kind of showing you guys how to sketch with paint. Sketched out this swan using just straight lines and kind of blocking in those darkest values. Kind of doing a basic outline of the swan itself and kind of where the shadow is going to be cast behind it. The last video, I showed you guys kind of starting to block in some of those darker values. So underneath the swan, some of the shadows on its stomach, on its chest, some of the shadows on the ground, some of those deeper violets and deeper grays. And so far we've been doing that all with straight lines and with really bold brush strokes. And so we're going to continue using straight lines and bold brush strokes, but what we're going to do in this video is start to add some brighter colors, some more vibrant colors to this, and to give it a little life, to make the painting a little lighter and a little more lively.
I've been caught in fire. I stayed down the other night. I've been caught in fire. I stayed down. Without knowing what the truth is. I've been caught in fire. I stayed down the other night. I've been caught in fire. I stayed down. Without knowing what the truth is. Fire, fire.
A couple things you'll notice already. The colors that I've been using, I'm using different variations of those colors. So I've used some of these violets and pinks. I've been using lighter versions of kind of this pink or violet. I've been using some middle kind of violets, and then I've been using some darker blue violets, and just kind of layering those colors back and forth over top of each other, just crisscrossing them over top of each other. And it's always a good practice to, whatever colors you're using, make sure that you have a variety of that color. So if you want to use some violets, have some violets that tend towards red, have some violets that tend towards blue, have some violets that are very pale, that have been lightened up with white, have some other violets that have maybe been darkened a little bit. And that little bit of variety is going to add a lot of interest to your paintings.
The math ahead, the math behind it.
You'll see here that even when I'm painting with white, right, I'm doing varieties of that white. I have some areas of white that are brighter. I have some that are a little duller, that have had a little bit of violet added to them, or a little bit of gray added to them. So even that white, adding some variety to that especially impacts the whites that you'll use for highlights. So those very brightest whites look a lot brighter if your other whites aren't quite pure white. The decision to add some yellow here really comes from the fact that I've got so much violet already tied into this painting. Violet and yellows and golds are complementary colors, and so they make each other look stronger. And you'll see here I'm even tying those gold colors into the foreground, right? I've had them in the background, back behind the swan. Now I'm tying them into the foreground and into the pavement the swan is standing on. And that all works to create harmony within the piece, even though it's not really there in the picture that I'm using. When I'm creating a painting, I have permission to add it there to create something more dynamic. And so that's what I've chosen to do here. Notice I am still using straight lines. I'm still using these bold strokes. I'm still using very directional strokes with my paint and with my brush.
Down along the creek, I remember something. Heard the heron hurried away when first I breached that last Sunday. Low moon down the yellow road, I remember something. That leaving wasn't easy, or that he.
As I'm tying in blues here, again, I'm using some variation in my blues. I've got some blues that are darker, that are closer to a pure pigment. I've got some blues that have been tinted, so they've been lightened up with some white. I'm also going to take some of that blue. I want to focus it mainly up around the swan's head to kind of brighten up that area, to kind of show this indication of a blue sky. But I'm also going to paint some lower down on the painting, again, to give this painting some harmony throughout. So all my blues aren't stacked up there, and all the weight of that bright blue color isn't at the top. I want to bring some down lower as well.
Oh, then how we gonna cry? 'Cause it once might not mean something. And love a second glance, it is not something that we need. Honey, understand that I have been left here in the reeds, but all I'm trying to do is get my feet up from the creek. And I see you turn around, you're my 18.
So hopefully at this point you're starting to see that the addition of these brighter colors really changes the dynamic of this painting. If you look at this painting at the very start of this video or at the very end of the last video, right, the brightness of it, kind of the energy of it, is a lot different with these bright colors rather than just those neutral values that I had added early on.
Where you gonna look for confirmation? And if it's ever gonna happen. So as I'm standing at the station, it might be over soon. There I found you haunting constellations. There isn't ceiling in our garden. And then I draw an ear on you. So I can speak into the silence.
It might be over soon.